Howdy heck and hello H2Os, Roller Bros, and Cindy Scrawlies alike. I'm your guide Q, and welcome back to r/AmITheAntagonist, the one subreddit where you guys get to make your opinion known the most. I mean, you can always comment on stuff, but in this one we vote on if this person's in the wrong, if they're not in the wrong, if everybody sucks in the situation, or if nobody's in the wrong in the situation. So let's get right into these intense situations. Would I be the antagonist if I asked my pregnant wife to move out because she and her best friend decided to test my loyalty? My wife is pregnant with our daughter. Initially, we were really happy and excited about it, but then she starts acting like a nut job. She gets angry and irritated for small things, insults me when she doesn't like the food I make, starts acting insecure, and accuses me of losing attraction for her. For example, she wanted to eat chicken sandwiches for dinner last week. Well, I made chicken sandwiches. So she eats all the sandwiches, leaves me nothing, and told me that they tasted like crap. I wasn't pissed because she left me nothing, but if she didn't like them, then why did she eat everything? When I asked her this, she told me that she was hungry. Okay, fine. She does this every time. Eats everything I make and then calls it crap. I don't argue with her because I work for more than 80 hours a week and really want some peace when I'm home. So yesterday, a random girl starts flirting with me after the gym and asked me if I wanted to meet up with her for some drinks. I rejected her and told her that I was married. And when I got home, my wife started to hug me and apologize. When I asked her what happened, she told me that her best friend suggested a test for my loyalty. So they asked a mutual friend to flirt with me and asked me out. And I passed. Yay! I'm really pissed, and I'm done with her antics. Would I be the antagonist if I asked her to move out? Okay, I feel like if something like this personally happened to me, I'd be pretty upset and pretty close to done. I feel like what you would need to look at is, has anything like this happened in the past in your relationship? Could this be a combination of some crazy pregnancy hormones and her friend's terrible judgment? Maybe her friend was just egging her on, and maybe she got convinced that this was a good idea some way. Like, has she ever done anything like this in the past? If the answer is yes, it might be a really good idea to be done with her. And honestly, even if she hasn't done anything like this in the past, this is a horrible sign of what she's capable of. In my opinion, the way that this worked out is she was like, okay, I want to see if he's going to cheat on me, so let me treat him like crap and see if when he's at his wit's end, he'll be willing to cheat on me in this setup situation. And whether that's the case or not, I still can't imagine treating my significant other like this. Like, they cook me some food, they try their best, I eat it all, and then tell them it was horrible. That is such a scummy thing to do, even if it's just all part of some prank to see if your partner's loyal or not. This is disgusting, and I think you have every right to ask her to move out. It's just a matter of whether you want to give her another chance or something like that, and I'm not sure if you should. Am I the antagonist for showing up to a couple's event against the will of my fiancé? I, 24 male, recently showed up unsolicited to a couple's event my fiancé, 27 female, was invited to in a professional capacity. She is currently very pissed at me. My fiancée is an attorney. She's been working at a firm for some time since graduating law school. Every year, the local bar association organizes this event where attorneys from the area are invited to network and see some old pals from college. The invitation also goes out to the partner of said attorney. Last year, I went together with her and we had a merry good old time. I saw some guys there who also work at her firm that frequent the performance engine shop where I work as a mechanic. We share some similar interests and we pretty much hit it off immediately. We still hang out every now and then. The event got pretty rowdy towards the end. Contrary to popular belief, all of these attorney types aren't the goody two-shoes as they pretend to be. And I, amongst others, ended up on stage singing to classics such as Journey's Don't Stop Believing. I love that song. However, my fiancé ended up experiencing that night very differently. She pretty much went off by herself during the entire thing. She told me she spent the night networking with a few established attorneys and some old acquaintances. She also told me she got a bit embarrassed by my actions towards the end, and that she would like to put on a professional demeanor in front of her colleagues and expected that from me too. Now, mind you, we often go off the deep end in the weekends, and she doesn't have a problem with me acting like the fool I am. So last week when I mentioned how excited I was to go with her again this year, she flat out rejected me. She told me I wouldn't be able to properly behave myself in front of her fellow members of the bar, and that was that. I tried promising her that I would be on my best behavior, but no means no was the final answer. Why would you be embarrassed of going to an event with your significant other just for being the person he is? Certainly if that very partner promises to be as innocent as grace itself. The event is literally meant for couples. Initially, I wasn't going to go, but my newfound friends WhatsApped me, and I thought to hell with it. So I got there early, joined up with them, saying she was going to run late, texted her, had a few drinks, and when she arrived, almost got dragged out of the party. I got stomped into my car with strict guidelines to go home, and was whipped into motion. Not wanting to make a scene, I drove off, got 2 honey butter chicken biscuits from Whataburger, and spent the rest of the night Netflixing. Fun times. A week later, she's still pissed as hell at me for not respecting her boundaries. I've been sleeping on the couch since then. In the meantime, I can sort of find the humor in her not wanting to lose face in front of her fancy pants colleagues because of her oddball, it truly isn't that bad though, fiance, but she still can't. Am I the antagonist? Ooh, this one's a tough one because it seems like this guy just does not understand the seriousness of the situation whatsoever. Like, she wants to hardcore network at this event, and she doesn't want anything getting in the way of that. Like, she wants a different experience than he does. She doesn't want to have a crazy party night, even though some people at the party might be doing that. She just wants to have a professional networking experience. And even though he says that he's going to be innocent as grace at the event, I think there might be a little bit of a lack of trust on her part there. Maybe they have different ideas of what a professional demeanor is at an event like this, and she's just worried that even if he tries his best, it might not be enough or something could get out of hand. And I could honestly understand him being upset if she didn't adequately explain why he shouldn't come to the event with her, but he should not have just shown up. That's where he goes into antagonist territory. I think it was a really bad idea to show up to an event that she specifically requested you not show up to, and I feel like you got to apologize, and hopefully she'll forgive you, and hopefully you guys can come together to a better understanding. Am I the antagonist for skipping guys' night because the host's wife was there? So, I have a pretty tight group of friends that have been all together ever since elementary school. All early 30s now. Lately, with people getting married in our careers, we haven't had much time to spend together. So one of my friends suggested a long overdue guys' night. Just pizza and beers and catching up at a buddy's place. I said that I would order and pay for the pizza from our usual spot. So on the day of guys' night, I get a text from the host's wife, we'll call her Kim, asking me to pick up some pizza on the other end of the city. At first I was confused, and then I found out that she basically just canceled her plans with her girlfriends to interject herself into our guys' night. I told her that the place she wants to pick up from is on the other end of the city, plus we already had a place to order from. Kim wanted to order a bunch of these super expensive, tiny thin crust hipster pieces. I tell Kim that we're a bunch of dudes that just want some regular, filling pepperoni pizza to eat while we have a few drinks. The host texts me after to just say, yeah, go ahead and just get the regular, it's way easier. So we go ahead and order the regular stuff. While I'm driving to his place, I get a message from Kim that reads something like the following. I think you're being really selfish here. I wanted to share something with you guys that I found amazing and have a new experience with you, but you decided that you just have to make this all about yourself. You know that the host isn't going to say no to anyone, and you're just being mean to get your way. I told Kim, just cancel the order, get whatever you want, I'm out, and turned around and drove back home. To clarify, I wasn't upset about not getting my choice of food, but the fact that Kim not only invited herself to what she knew was a guy's night, and then started making demands about food for us, and telling me to pick up the food that she wants when she's also off of work at this time. Kim is a bit of a spoiled princess that's used to getting everything she wants. So I decided not to go, because if she was already getting this upset over something like pizza, then I don't want to spend one of my nights off around her. None of the guys were upset, they wanted me to come but understood why I bailed. One last thing is that we all hang out pretty regularly as a group anyways. So Kim sees us all once a week or so. It's not that the guys never get to see each other, but we haven't had a guys only night in nearly a year. Am I the antagonist for not just going along with this to have a peaceful evening? Okay, so obviously a big part of the problem here is her trying to take over the night and making plans for the night by requesting that this dude go out of his way to go to this other pizza place. Sure, that pizza place might be better, but it's not what they normally do, and you're asking someone else to go through that inconvenience. And completely aside from that, there is something really important to just having a guy's night, or just having a night where you and all of your old friends hang out together without any significant others there. Like, she canceled her plans and chose to be there. I think that was a terrible decision. And there's nothing wrong with adding people to that original friend group to hang out sometimes. It sounds like they do that all the time. But there is a huge importance to just having that original friend group hang out. Like, there might be some stories and reminiscing that they can do together that they wouldn't feel comfortable doing with you in the room, because they'd know that they'd be leaving you out of all of these inside jokes and stuff like that, and you just wouldn't get the reference. It's something so special about just hanging out with your boys or your girls or whatever it is, and she completely intruded on that and made a scene in the process. So screw you, Kim. You shouldn't have done it this way. If you wanted to hang out with the guys, you should have made as little of an impact as possible, in my opinion. And yeah, we've only got this guy's side of the story, and maybe he was mean to her when he was responding to her. It doesn't sound like it from the story, but maybe he was. But imagine if something that you only do once a year was completely sabotaged by a person. You'd probably be a little bit upset. Hey, come follow me over on Instagram. I'll leave that linked down in the description. I'm trying to post over there more often, so that's at Cuestar videos on Instagram. Lots of cat pictures, a few pictures of me occasionally, or other things that aren't cats, but it is mostly going to be cats. I'll see you guys very soon. Make sure you're skating on the best of your abilities. Make sure you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Make sure you are ingesting a proper amount of water. Have an absolutely great, wonderful time with your weekend, and I'll see you soon.